this is my very first good camera because I started off with the box camera with Kodak Brownie Hawkeye with my mum won by saving up Black Cat cigarette coupons. And as she didn't smoke, it took her years and years to get it. 1930s box camera. So then my friend at East Ham Grammar School had an Ensign Selfie, a British one, and it took 16 pictures on a 120 or a 620 film. And so I can't undo the little blighter now, but it takes 16 pictures on. So he got me to get one of these. It's a good little camera, and you have to wind it on here and look at the little numbers in the back. If you can see them on the backing paper, because nowadays the printing isn't so good. But I've used that one like that for years and years, an Ensign Selfix. And I have done 20 by 16 prints from this lens. This is an Ensar lens, 3-element triplet. The one I had was a 4-element Ross Express, but that was a bit dodgy. But so I sold that to a camera club friend, but I picked this up free, one of my free cameras. So then, well, I started doing press photography, and in those days, the press photography kit was this. And this is a 1950s press photographer's kit. So you have a Rolleiflex camera, because I couldn't afford Rolleiflex cameras. Have your Rolleiflex camera like that. You have your Braun Hobby flash over your shoulder, like this, and you had load and load of wire connected. Now that wire is not the original wire. The original wire went rotten, but camera club friend put a new wire. Load of wire, and then that plugs into your camera here. And then they would look at the Beatles coming off the aeroplane, plug it in here, and you can see them there, and they would have this up like that, and have a direct vision viewfinder, and they would be going like this, you see. They wind on their film. They're 12 frames, no wind. Take it off lock. If it goes. Yeah. Oh! What a flash. That's a Braun Hobby flash. We then moved on, and we got the Mecha Blitz flash came out, which is this one. And I moved on to Pentax. And I got my first Pentax, which was this original one, with an Alto Takuma lens. And it served me well. This is the original one I bought in 1961, because a guy let me have it back because he said it wasn't working. But all I had to do was take the base plate off and lubricate it. And from 1961, working perfectly again. So then I got myself a Mecha Blitz flash. Then at the time, the Brentwood Gazette photographers had the all singing, all dancing Nikon. Like this, with a Mecha Blitz flash. So they would have pictures. They would go there. And it also synchronised at 250th of a second. Whereas this one only synchronised at 1/50th of a second. And then later on, I got an ME Super, which synchronised at 125th of a second. But my wife would go out on press jobs with me, and she'd say, the Brentwood Gazette goes zip, zip, zip with their flashes, and you only take one. And I say, well, I know that my one's going to come out well, you see. And also, they're getting their film paid for by the newspaper, whereas I've got to buy my film. So they would go zip, zip, zip. Of course, I never had a winder or anything like that, but they had the famous Nikon, which synchronised at 2/50th, and they could go zip, zip, zip like that, zip like that. Oh, I never had such a thing as that. But I've got one now, because that came from a camera club friend. See, one of the advantages of being belonging to a camera club is you get loads of fresh gear given to you.
You're a big fan, advocate of camera club.
Yeah, I should say. I joined after school, I joined the South Essex Camera Club, 1952. And then I was the youngest one there at age 15. And all the old fogies are 40 years old and on up to 60. And I thought myself, but I never thought them as old. But nowadays, if you get a young person coming through the door, they'll look and they see all those pensioners, rows and rows of pensioners. They won't come in anymore. They'll come once and they won't come in anymore. You can't get young people in. But I joined and they will help me out. And then George Crosby, fellow of the Royal Photographic Society, would take me to show me his house in Woodford Green. I'd cycle there on my bike from East Ham. And he'd take me on his darkroom and show me how to do printing using Amidol, make up his own developer. And his wife would keep me supplied with marmalade toast. And then after I'd done some prints, I gave me all my damp prints on a cycle all the way back to home to East Ham, and they would help me out. That's how I learned. Now, you join a club, and if you let it be known that you want film cameras and stuff, and only old cameras, people will give them to you because they don't want it. It's all digital nowadays. See? So then I finally had to go and get myself the dreaded digital. So in 2007, I got this, the dreaded digital Pentax.
Was your first digital?
Yes, 2000. Now it's 600 quid, but I won a photographic competition. I got £250 of Jessop's vouchers. So I put this down for Jessop's vouchers. Look at that. It's got a winder built into it, you see. No extra winder. Winder built into it. And you've got a little picture come up at the back as well. All in colour. And it does all wonderful things. It took me ages and ages reading the book to find out how it was. And you don't load it with film. You load it with a thing called memory cards. One little thing like that. Don't have a roll of film in it anymore. You have to have a little thing like that called a memory card. Wow. So I had to change from film to digital because the newspapers wanted everything digital. So there we are. So then that was another press one. But in the meantime, I did sports. Now, but before I got that, I get sent out to do sport photography. Now, my sport photography outfit was the Pentax S3, and I had 105mm lens, which I got in London for 28 quid, £27. But this is not the exact one because I sold the original one, but this is a 105mm lens. So I was the young upstart turning up at Billericay Town football with a Pentax 35mm and a 105mm all singing, all dancing lens. Whereas the other photographers had Rolleiflexes. Two old guys there, the original old guys, who were very, very kind to me. They would sit on the touchline. They both had Rolleiflexes, and I turned up with a 35mm camera with a 105mm lens to do with football.
So you could get really close into the action.
Yeah, get close into the action. So for years I used that. And then I got enough money, I saved up, and I got these all singing, all dancing 200mm f4. Wow. If I can get that out. That's it, is that? Thank you. So much stuff here, folks. Never fear, the 200mm was here. This is the 200mm f4, all singing, all dancing now. Because nowadays, 200mm is nothing. There's a certain way of putting these lenses on. You put it on at 2 o'clock, and it goes on. It gets this thread straight away. It should do. You put it on. Because would you believe it? Because I'm talking, it don't go on. Here we are. Now here we are. 200mm f4. That was 60 quid, but it's a bit faulty. It's ever so stiff now. It's really, really stiff. I paid to have that done. It's tightened up again though. But anyway, it was my all singing, all dancing 200mm lens. And this is one I took at Wembley Stadium with it. So I went to Wembley Stadium twice when Billericay Town won the FA Vase. And I was their photographer for the Brentwood and Shenfield Argus. And it covered Billericay. So that was taken with my 200mm lens, and I got the ball in. See what you wanted, the ball? And no fake, because sometimes if the picture didn't have a ball, the sports editor would cut out a ball from another picture and he'd stick it on to another picture, the ball, and then they would scan that, or what they would make a block, letterpress in those days, and then the ball would magically be in the photograph. Before Photoshop was invented, they would fake it up and put a ball in if the ball wasn't in the picture, but I never used to fake anything. My reactions were good. I could catch the ball.
It's a great photo, because you can see all four of them. You can see the ball, you can see what's going on.
And no motor wind. You had to use your thumb. You had to focus. You had to follow the action with a 200mm lens and catch it just at the point. Then we move on from then up to the digital, and then finally we ended up with this. Probably this is the later one for press. This is the all singing, all dancing Nikon F5. Wow! Now you've got a zoom lens now. One of the many zoom lenses which come out. You see, you get a huge lens hood, which screws on there. And this would do 8 frames a second if you got the right battery in. But I haven't got the right battery, so I only done 6. You flash, and now you're all singing, all dancing speed light, that doesn't have any wires at all. One says on and off. And here we are. Press that, see if it comes on. Oh, little light comes on at the back. And there's loads and loads of things on it. It says TTL. You don't have to guess using a guide number as you did with the Braun Hobby. You could sit there and you could set it to TTL, and you could take a picture and it would set the ASA for you, because it's got 400 ASA, and then we'd set it to, what have I got it on? It says 120 feet at 4.5. I've got, you set the mode here. Choose what mode you want, aperture priority, and then shutter priority you can have, and stop it down a bit to get a bit of the depth of field. You can bounce this flash off the ceiling. Wow. All right. Auto focus, look at that. Now, there's no little picture at the back because it's not digital, it's film, and I've got HP5 in that. So if that comes out, I'll do you a picture of it. But, that's the all singing, all dancing flash now. That is really up to date, because that came out in 1996, and this one is a late model, came out in 2004. So that's the history of me press photographs through the ages.
Do you have a favourite that was like the best for you to use, the one that you enjoyed using most?
Not really, no. I enjoy my camera gear because I've been luckily I've been given so much over the years by people who've widows and people who've died, you know, and then you get a load of stuff given to you. And so I haven't to say I wouldn't say I've got anything particular.
But you're glad not to have to carry that battery pack.
Yeah, you don't have to carry the battery pack anymore, no. But on the other hand, you need an extra hernia belt to carry that around for a long time because it's so blinking heavy. It's all titanium.